Hey friends, so far we have covered all the basics about the Python function. Now we have to take things to the next level where we have to understand something really important: how our data actually move through a function. So we're gonna learn things like the parameters, argument, how to return an output of a function, and we have to understand as well the different types, shapes, and purposes of functions. So let's dive in. Now, before we start talking about the syntax, we have to understand one core idea. Not all functions work the same way. So some functions, like we learned before, they don't take any data. So the data doesn't go inside, or there is no data goes outside. It is just a block of code that's gonna run and do something and then stop. That's it. But there is another shape of function that actually takes data in. So it has an input, it's gonna perform an action and then stops. That means it has no output, there will be no data going outside. And some other shape where you have a function that it accepts an input, so it takes data in, then it transforms it, and then it returns the result as an output. The data gonna get out of the function. So data goes in and data goes out, but with different shape after it gets transformed. Of course, some functions takes multiple inputs, so multiple data goes inside, then something gonna happen, then they're gonna do calculations and transformations, and then you could have as well multiple outputs. Multiple data are going outside. So as you can see, you can design the function the way that you need. You have different shapes. You could let data go in and as well go out. Now in Python, we have different terminology about the input and the output. We call the data that goes in through an input, we call it parameters and arguments, and the data that comes out, we call it return value. So from now on, I will not say like an output and an input. We're gonna use those terminology. So this is the big picture. Different shapes means different data flow, and now we're gonna deep dive into the input, the parameters, and the arguments. So let's go. So now, what are parameters and arguments? The parameters are names that you write in the function definition in order to describe what kind of data the function expects. So you are describing the input. The arguments are the real values that you pass when you call the function. So they are your actual data that is used when the function is executed. And of course, this might sound a little bit confusing, but in order to understand it, I'm gonna show you an example and how things works behind the scenes. Okay, so now first let's talk about the syntax. As we learned before, if you want to build a function, you need two blocks. You need the function definition and as well the function call. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna extend it in order to accept data in. So now between the parentheses, we're gonna go and put the parameter name. That means in the function definition, we define the parameters. So this is where it goes. Now about the function call, we put there something else. We call it argument. We're gonna put an argument value in the function call. So now let's say that I would like to build a function that's gonna go and multiply any value by 2. So how we're gonna do it? We're gonna call the function times 2. This is the function name. And now we have to specify a name for the parameter. So it could be any name, like for example, I'm gonna go with the x. And now we're gonna write the function. We're gonna go and print the result of multiplying the parameter with 2. So x multiplied by 2. And actually that's it for the definition. Now in the function call, we're gonna use again the function name. And now we have to specify an argument value. So as you hear me, I'm saying a value, so not a name. So it could be any value, like for example, let's say 3. As you can see, it is very simple. The syntax stays the same, but we just added a parameter in the definition and our value, the argument, in the call. So now once you execute it, it's gonna go line by line. It's gonna start with the def. Python can understand, okay, this is the definition of the function, so it will not go inside it and do anything. Instead, it's gonna go and create an object in the memory where it's gonna put the function name, the definition of the function, and a list of parameters. So now since here we have only one parameter, it's gonna be the x. So it has no value and the parameter here is like a placeholder, nothing inside it yet. So that's it. Once it's created, Python gonna go to the next line, which is the function call. Now Python gonna see, okay, I know this name, I have it in the memory, and now it's time to execute the function. But first there is one step to be done, which is Python gonna go and take the argument value and it's gonna go and assign it for the parameter. So if you you are looking at this looks exactly like variables, where you have a variable name and a variable value. So the name is here the parameter, the argument here is the value. So with that, we just filled the placeholder with a value. Now, after the assignment, Python gonna go and start executing the function. It's gonna see the function print, and inside it must do the calculation first. So it's gonna pick the value that is assigned to the local variable x. Here we have it at 3, and then it's gonna go and multiply it by 2. So we're gonna have the value 6, and it's gonna go and print it in the output. So now once it's done, it is very important to understand it's gonna go and destroy the whole local variable with its value. So everything gonna be lost, and again we're gonna have an empty parameter as a placeholder. So all I want you to understand from here is that when the function is defined, the parameter is gonna be like a placeholder. It's gonna be empty, no value inside it, and only when the function is called and executed, Python gonna take the argument value, assign it to the parameter, so it is filling the placeholder, and then use the whole thing as a local variable. And once the function finishes, everything disappears. So this is what happens behind the scenes once you start using parameters and arguments. So just quick comparison between the parameters and the arguments. The parameters are used in the function definition, the arguments are used in the function call, the parameters are the placeholder, and the arguments are the real value that's gonna fill the placeholder. So a parameter is only a definition on what a function expects. So it defines the input, and the arguments provides your actual data that's gonna go inside the function. So it is very simple. Alright, so now let's practice in Python. Let's say that I have the following name, and the quality of the name is not really good. So we have at the start some space, and then we have Maria like this. So the cases are messed up, and at the end we have like 2 spaces. So that means the quality of the name is not really good. I would like now to go and process the name in order to make it more clean. Of course, in order to do that, we're gonna use the string methods. So the strip gonna go and clean up all those white spaces. Of course, in order to see the results, let's go and print it. Now, if you check the output, you can see we don't have any more spaces. And the second step, we want to deal with the cases. So I'm gonna go with the lower case. So lower, and then execute. Now look at this, the name is processed and clean. With that, we are doing some data transformations and cleanup. But now let's say that in our project, always the text comes like this. We have spaces, we have weird cases, and this rule, I'm gonna apply it over and over. So now instead of repeating the same steps over and over to say, okay, strip and then lower, what I can do, I can put this rule, this logic inside the function. I have it once and I can use it whenever I want. So now let's go and do it. I usually put the definition at the start, so I'm gonna say diff. We have to define the function, and then the function name, you can call it clean name, but if you want to make it more generic, maybe you want to clean as well the addresses or the countries and stuff like that, you can say, okay, clean text or string or whatever, but I'm gonna leave it for now for clean name. And now, of course, we have to put the parentheses, and then at the end, the double points. So now I'm going to take the whole thing and put it inside the function. And of course, we have to add the indentations, so the spaces. And with that, we have the definition of the function. So now what is missing is, of course, we have to call the function. So we're going to say clean name, and actually that's it. So now if you go and execute it, you're going to get the exact same result. So you're going to get Maria, where the name is cleaned. But of course, we have an issue. So now if I go and just execute the function multiple times, I'm always transforming the same value. So we have Maria 3 times. But in my project, I have different values and different names, not only one. So it will not work that each time I'm going to go and change the name inside the function. Instead, I want it to be more flexible, where each time I'm going to give it my own value. So that means, my friend, we have to change the shape of this function so that data goes in. So how are we going to do it? It is very simple. First, we have to change the definition. So now inside the parentheses, we're going to give the parameter name, and it's going to be just the name. Now look at this, something changed already. And now the next step is that we're going to go and remove this assignment, because the values will not come from the function itself, it will come from outside. So that means I'm going to take the value Maria from here and put it as an argument for the function call. So something like this, and then just remove this over here. And with that, we have only one line inside the definition. So you can see inside the function, there are no values at all. It's just describing what's going to happen to the parameter. So now let me just try this out. I'm gonna remove those stuff, and then let's go and execute. Look at this, the result is the same, but this time the value is coming from the outside as an argument, not a static value inside the function. Now let me show you how cool is this. Now we can call the function but using different arguments. So for example, let's say we're gonna have Kumar, everything with capital letter, and at the end we have one space. Now let's clean up this name and execute. Look at this again, we have the same standards, so the white spaces are removed and everything in lowercase. So as you can see now, my function is more professional, it is more generic, that I can accept any value. So it is very cool and you can keep giving it values as much as you need. But now one more thing, of course, if you execute it without any argument, you're gonna get an error because the function has a parameter and it expects an argument. So you cannot leave it like this, but of course, if you don't want to pass any value, you can pass for it like an empty. This can still work, but you have to pass something. So this is how we use a parameter and an argument in order to build an input to our function, which can make things more flexible and professional. If you like this type of content, then support the channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting. This really gonna help the algorithm to reach nice people like you. If you're still here, then thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Toby.